As a security engineer, you will come across authentication methods and authentication strengths while managing security in Intro ID. These two concepts help you control how users authenticate and how strong that authentication needs to be. Let's get on the Intro Admin Center and see these things in action. You get to the authentication methods page as shown by navigating to the protection and to the authentication methods on the left hand side. An authentication method is the specific way you or your users verify their identity when signing in or performing multi-factor authentication. The authentication method list is displayed on your screen. Focus on the last column. It shows which methods are enabled or disabled. Not all authentication methods are turned on by default. Currently, only Microsoft Authenticator, Temporary Access Pass, and third-party software or tokens are enabled. If you need to enable additional authentication methods, simply click on the method and toggle the switch to enable. In the example, I click on the passkey FIDO2 settings and I got the page displayed as shown. If you click on configure, you get more options to configure. Select those options based on what you are trying to achieve. Otherwise, going back to the previous screen, you have the options to select target as all users or specific groups. Or you can exclude groups if you selected all users. Let's go back to the original screen. See, this is how you enable or disable authentication methods. Now that you know which authentication methods are available, now you need to control the level of security required for sign-ins. That's where authentication strength comes in. Instead of just requiring MFA, you can enforce specific types of MFA based on security needs. For example, you might want phishing resistance authentication instead of a weak methods like a SMS. You can come to the authentication strength page by clicking on the authentication strength on the same page. On the screen, you can see that top one is the custom authentication strength. You can create one just by clicking the new authentication strength option on the screen. When you click new authentication strength, a configuration page appears similar to what you see on the screen. First, you choose the authentication methods you have enabled. You then give your authentication strength a meaningful name, and you then reference this authentication strength in your conditional access policies to enforce it for users. That's how you define your authentication methods and authentication strength in your security strategy. So, what are the key takeaways from this particular video? You don't always need to create a custom authentication strength. Microsoft provides a built-in default options as well that may already meet your needs. The authentication methods you enable should align with the level of security you want to achieve. And authentication strength and conditional access must work together. They are not standalone configuration. You must integrate them properly for stronger protection.